Hey beautiful people, welcome to the Taurus July 2020 Tarotscope.
Hey beautiful people, it's your girl Shakima. I'm just stopping in for the Taurus reading for the month of July. And we're just going to go ahead and chop it up. These are going to be general readings, so it's not going to resonate with everyone. If it doesn't resonate, do just let it dissipate, okay? But if it definitely does resonate, then be sure to comment down below. Let me know how you've been able to effectively utilize the information. And if you're watching this via my YouTube channel, then definitely be sure to give me a thumbs up. Give me a heart here on IG, guys, if you like this content. And if you're, again, watching via YouTube, if you like my vibe and you want to be a part of the tribe, subscribe. I'd be happy to have you. We're going to go ahead and dive deep into what is going on for my Taurus babies for the month of July, because we've got a lot going on. We do kick off the month with the Capricorn lunar eclipse on the 5th of July on Sunday coming. So I just kind of wanted to get these back up for you guys. What we're going to do, we're going to utilize the tarot to see where you are throughout the month of July, what path you're crossing, what's going on in your subconscious mind, as well as what's going on in your conscious mind, and what will be the overall outcome. We'll also be able to utilize another tarot deck to see the trajectory for each week as far as the energies that you're navigating through for the month of July. And then we'll also be able to close out the space with a romance angel guidance for my single Taurus, those who are in relationship, and those who are in situationships, because I don't judge and I get that it's complicated. Okay, that being said, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get right to it because there's a lot for you guys to really navigate through. I know that Uranus is in Taurus and it's going to be there for a while, and Taurus energy generally likes to be stable, so there's like a lot of unpredictability that's taking place for you guys at the minute. So yeah, I really want to sort of see what we can come up with for you guys for the energies of this week, guys. Okay, what do you see? Let's have a look. Okay, so it seems as though you guys have been learning how to become a little bit more open. You guys have been releasing a lot of old perspectives coming into the month of July, and it seems as though because of you guys being able to navigate through that, there may be some old frustrations that you guys are learning how to get a little bit more comfortable with. There may be some old circumstances where you're kind of holding back because you kind of see that there's a delay in manifesting things in the way that you would like for them to be, and it does seem like in the energies of this month, it seems like what spirit is really going to be asking of you, particularly Taurus babies. And by the way, this is a reading for my Taurus sun, moon, and rising. If you are a cross watcher, which means that you may have a Taurus lover, friend, family member, you just kind of want to see what's going on in their orbit for this month, then feel free, watch away, guys. What I can see for you guys in terms of the energies of this month, Taurus, is that you guys are dealing with a lot of the broken home situations, guys. You guys are navigating through a lot of broken home situations that is leaving you feeling emotionally imbalanced, that is leaving you feeling emotionally insecure. It is a turning point that's taking place where you're sort of navigating through that. But whilst you're navigating through it right now, it is leaving you feeling a little bit triggered, to say the least. Moving forward, you will be able to actually get to that place of your Ace of Wands energy, guys. So you'll be able to get to that place where you can see your potential, you can see your power, you can see that everything that transpired within the broken home was actually inspiring you to be able to just have this tower moment, to just let the old fall away, so that you can become a little bit more enlightened about the baggage that you're still carrying and how it may be affecting your new beginnings in terms of your home circumstances, for lack of a better way of putting it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and dive deep into seeing what's actually transpiring for you guys, because I can see there's definitely a lack of closure in terms of, the energies for you guys coming into the month of July. So there may be old relationships that hasn't necessarily, again, broken home, right? There may be old relationships that hasn't necessarily completed the cycle yet. So you guys are still trying to navigate through the process of growing in that space. What I can see is that as you're navigating through the month of July, you'll actually feel a little bit more comfortable. Okay, you'll actually find yourself being a little bit more satisfied, you'll find yourself being a little bit more happy and joyful, and you'll find yourself just breaking away from your mental restrictions, your mental challenges, and you're not letting people get away with anything anymore, and you're not trying to get away with anything. You're just kind of engaging with the process, which is nice. I guess this is what can happen when Uranus is actually in your house, isn't it? You can actually become a little bit more open to just things that are unpredictable. So if you're happy with it, I'm happy for you. Let's have a little look and see what's actually transpiring for you, awesome people, right? Where are my Taurus babies for the month of July, Spirit? As they navigate through the month of July, where do you see them? As clearly as you can, please. My Taurus babies. Okay, so for you guys, it seems like you guys are the energy of the world card. So you're going through a major arcana for the month of July. Okay, you're going through a major arcana in the sense that you're actually learning how to complete the cycle that hasn't necessarily been completed, that has caused your broken home situation. You're learning how to be able to integrate. You're learning how to be able to understand others, as well as being able to be open to expressing yourself. You're not being the dictator of the ship anymore. You're actually kind of learning how to balance the scales where you are, just letting everybody be where they are on their journey, expressing where you are on your journey, still with your own resistances from what I can see, but at the same time you're learning how to integrate into into being vulnerable with the process of the situation. Again, I'm feeling like this has a lot to do with the Taurus, the Uranus and Taurus energy. I can see that this is going to be creating a new beginning for you guys. For some of you guys, you may be finding yourself sort of traveling physically. And it's that time of year, right, where people are usually starting to travel, but obviously with a lot of the restrictions that we're navigating through, a lot of you guys may be doing astral traveling instead. So there's definitely a lot of travel that's going to be taking place. You may be doing some spiritual astral travel within the 5D, and it's almost like what's going on is that you're kind of completing this cycle of feeling like you need to be lonely, of feeling like you need to be without people, this cycle of feeling like, you need to push everybody away because you're not necessarily where you would like to be financially, or you're not necessarily where you would like to be in terms of your material world, and you don't necessarily need to push family away. I think that that's what you're kind of like learning as you're navigating through the process of this. If anything, this is a time for you to draw closer to them. If anything, this is a time for you guys to come closer together. What path are my Taurus babies sort of navigating through for this July chapter of 2020? Okay, what path, Spirit? Make it clear, because we had some jumpers but it didn't come out. So what? Okay, come on, Spirit. I can see cards like getting unstable, guys. So what I will say is that as you're completing this cycle this week for my this month for my Taurus babies, you may find yourself sort of feeling unstable at times, but you're going through a very quick change. That's why you're going through a very quick transition. This is almost like, I wouldn't say it's instantaneously, but you're kind of going through a very quick movement in terms of like your ability to observe situations, in terms of your ability to just break away from your own personal restrictions. I can see that you're actually learning that you are the magician, and this is why you're going to be able to see such quick change, because you're going to start to utilize your resources. You're going to be sort of learning how to utilize your resources. And again, some of you Taurus, I'm seeing that travel is definitely on the cards for you guys for this month. I don't know if you guys have any plans, but do start opening yourself up to the plan of traveling. It may be astral traveling, it may be physical traveling, but travel is definitely an instrumental part of what's going on in this change that you're sort of navigating through as well for this month. Okay, what I do want to say as well is that there's a lot of action that you're going to be taking to be able to complete this cycle. There's a lot of action that you're going to be taking to be able to sort of complete this transition, because you've been sowing seeds for a long time, and now you're putting the actions you're kind of like putting your actions where your words are throughout this month of July, and it's starting to materialize. Like, people are also starting to notice a change within you. People are also starting to notice a change within your mannerisms, within the way that your belief systems are actually evolving and changing, and you may have a lot of conversations where people are communicating that to you. You may have a lot of incoming communication where people are really sort of letting you know that they've seen the changes that you're sort of going through, and they can appreciate it, which is nice. It's not bad. It's not a bad place to be, Taurus. What is going on in the subconscious mind for my Taurus babies for the month of July, Spirit? As clearly as you can, please. What is going on in the subconscious mind for my Taurus babies? As clearly as you can. There's a lot going on in your subconscious mind as you're navigating through this month, guys, because I can see that, like, again, things feel very unsettling, but you're still sort of navigating through the change. You can feel that the old version of you is dying out, and it feels uncomfortable, but you can see that the new version that's coming in is going to allow for you to feel a lot more satisfied. And in that regard, you actually have the Sun card, Okay, you've got the Sun card in your subconscious mind. So again, another major arcana. You're actually going through the process, feeling a little bit more warm about how things are actually sort of transpiring. You're a little bit more positive about how things are transpiring. You can see that the work that you're doing is sort of yielding its reward. You can see that there's success that is taking place in terms of your home dynamics. You can see that the home situation is starting to stabilize. You can see that there's a lot for you to be able to celebrate in terms of your home situation. For some of you guys, again, you may be happy because you're sort of traveling into the next phase of your relationship. There may be a broken relationship that is being remended throughout the month of July, and you guys are kind of reuniting. There may be relationships where you're kind of getting married, or at least getting engaged or re-engaging in a past relationship, because you see that you've made such a change within yourself that there is a likelihood for the relationship to be a little bit more successful in terms of where you're hoping for it to go. For others of you guys, I can see that you're kind of stuck in the past about your home situations, and you're not necessarily letting the transition take place, but for the most part, you're changing yourself in the process. You're changing yourself so that you can get a little bit more comfortable with whatever needs to sort of take place. One of the things that I'm seeing as well is that even though you're optimistic, you have to try not to be too unrealistic in terms of your expectations. Yes, you're in a positive place. Yes, it looks like things are looking up. Yes, it looks like you're finally at that place where you're going to be able to start to see the changes that you're looking for and looking towards, and it's going to be fun, it's going to be exciting. But at the same time, you have to bear in mind when you're dealing with home situations, which is understandable as well because we have the Cancer new moon on the 20th of July. So just bear in mind that there's other people that are going to be impacted by the energies that we're all trying to navigate through this month. So try not to be too unrealistic in terms of your expectations of others. Okay, travel is definitely on the cards for you guys again. Like, it's just, there's something about travel that is taking place. So definitely, guys, it may be like a quick communication that happens where somebody's saying that they need your help, or you may need to go and, you know, nurture a loved one or a family member, or a friend even, and they just kind of need to lean on you. It seems very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Travel is definitely on the cards for you guys. I just want to sort of put that across. I know I've said it a million times already, but yeah. What is in the conscious mind for my Taurus babies for the month of July, Spirit, as they navigate through the energies? What is in the conscious mind for my Taurus babies for the month of July as they navigate through the energies of July? As clearly as you can, please. Okay, the conscious mind is seeming a little bit clearer. It's seeming a little bit clearer. Interesting, actually. It's seeming a little bit clearer in the sense that you're positive about the changes that are taking place, but there's still a stifled creativity. So this is the way that the card came out. So you're not necessarily entirely where you want to be in terms of your community, in terms of like your friendships and your ability to be able to celebrate. You kind of feel like you can't celebrate just yet. Okay, you kind of feel like there's still more work to do, there's still more to go, and you're kind of being cautious. You're kind of being a little bit, okay, so I'm going to say this. I understand the need to be cautious, but at the same time, if you kind of expect the worst, you'll get the worst. So you kind of have to be able to see the positives in the situation and also acknowledge the challenges that are also taking place beneath the undertone of the situation. Okay, because what I'm seeing, it's almost like you guys are feeling cautious about being positive, even though that's something that is deep within your subconscious mind, and you can feel that, you know, it's okay to be positive. You're kind of feeling a little bit cautious about it because you feel like if you kind of express that you're happy with the way that things are going, then there's just like a stop in the change that's taking place. And you don't necessarily have to look at it from that perspective. Just know that what you're doing right now is necessary, you know. I think that the way that you're kind of dealing with the situation, I can see that there are some creative blockages that you're navigating through for the month of July, but you are being positive about it. And again, that's because you're learning how to not be so domineering, Taurus. You're learning how to not just continue to segregate yourself from the people that you love, and you're learning how to be able to integrate your love for them with your expectations of them, and you don't necessarily have to be too cautious. I understand, you know, you want to be able to make sure that you're balancing the scales of everything, but this blocked creativity, what I mean when I say that, so again, because you guys are used to kind of like being in control of things, or you like to be able to feel like you're in control of things, and it's not you being in a position where you're in control of everything. You're just in control of what you're in control of for yourself, right? And being able to acknowledge that and identify that, you're kind of focusing on the positives of what you're in control of, but also acknowledging that you're not in control of necessarily everything in terms of other people and their path and their transition that they're going through at the minute as well. So just kind of allow for yourself to stay optimistic about the fact that other people are going on their own journey and they're also changing in their own way, in their own right. And let the process take place naturally, because I can see that it's going to be a slow moving process in terms of this partnership that's sort of coming. It's going to sort of move from a partnership slowly into isolation if you're not careful. So try not to restrict yourself too much. Try to stay as open as possible to the process. As and when you need your Jesus time, you know, as and when you need your alone time with God, just allow for yourself to take that time and communicate to the people around you, you know. Let them know that you kind of need this time to just regroup, regenerate, and rejuvenate. And I'm sure that they won't take it too personally, but it's all about communication, okay? What is the overall outcome for my Taurus babies for the month of July with these energy spirit? What do you see as the overall outcome for my Taurus babies? Okay, so the outcome for you guys is hesitancy. And I could see that in the conscious mind, because I could sort of almost see that you're kind of a little bit rigid and you're learning how to let go of being rigid, but at the same time it's just naturally the way that you are. What I can see is that you guys are a little bit on edge. The outcome for July is that you may find yourself being on edge, a little bit paranoid, a little bit defensive, because you kind of want to be able to enjoy the energies that is sort of materializing, but you feel like you can't rely on others to basically meet your expectations. And that's because, beloved, you're actually learning to let go of your expectations of others, because they're living in God's expectations of themselves, and your expectations of them is not for them to meet. Your expectations are for you to meet. And I think that that's the whole lesson that you're kind of going through learning for the month of July. So embrace it with love and gratitude, so that you can let go of this sense that you need to be on edge about what's taking place, okay? Subconsciously, your spirit is actually really enjoying this journey. Your spirit is actually really enjoying this path that you're on, but subconsciously your ego is looking at it as a negative, because you're having to let go of being so domineering. What I can see as well is that, you know, you're paranoid about a lack of teamwork. You know, you're paranoid about people basically disregarding your skills, or you disregarding the skills of other people. Just try not to overthink anything too much, guys. Like, you guys are literally like completing a cycle, and it seems like you're in a good place. It's just that you seem a little bit cautious about acknowledging that you're in a good place. Okay, subconsciously it looks like you're actually very happy about it, but consciously you seem to be quite cautious, so just be mindful of that. Let's just have a look and see what the week-to-week scope is going to be looking like for you guys, because you've got the Capricorn new moon taking place on the 5th of July of this week, and it's really basically going to be helping you to so Capricorn is your 9th house, and the 9th house is all about philosophies. The 9th house is all about personal ideologies, and it seems as though for some of you guys, again, you're kind of going through that place of trying not to be too unrealistic or too naive about the way that you're navigating through the situations that are transpiring for you guys as you navigate throughout this month, or the energies of this month. You're also trying to basically, you've got a lot of high expectations that may sort of find you being a little bit ruthless at times, and those are some of the things that Spirit's actually helping you to be able to balance. Spirit's actually helping you to be able to balance your high expectations that may sort of allow for you to be disconnected from other people, because of your ability to be a little bit disconnected from your own personal feelings, okay? Right, let's have a little look and see what is the first week of my Taurus babies transit for the month of July. Okay, so for the first week, you guys are dealing with the Knight of Cups energy, guys. So what that is saying to me is that the first week of this month for you guys is really going to be letting you sort of see how to utilize your imagination, how you can utilize your imagination. You are going to be very charming. Your romantic relationships are going to be sort of a big part of the process of your first week of July's transition for you guys. And it seems as though you're kind of navigating through the process where you're realizing where your strengths are within your romantic relationships, and you're actually kind of at that place where you're giving a lot of unconditional love to your romantic relationships in a way where you're not just pouring out into somebody, but you're actually pouring into yourself and letting your cup overflow into them. And it's a great place to be by the looks of it. I think that this Capricorn new moon eclipse is really going to be helping you to navigate through the process of any past heartbreak that has been causing you to be unsatisfied with your material reality, with your 3D reality. And this is kind of like a good karma that is taking place, because you've been working at this, you've been working on it, and it's now starting to materialize for you guys. So yeah, I think the first week seems like it's going to be a really beautiful week in terms of your ability to be able to just focus on your strengths. Okay, what is the second week of July looking like for my Taurus babies for this chapter, Spirit, as clearly as you can? Okay, so for the second week, it seems like you guys are now navigating through the energies of this Capricorn lunar eclipse, where you're learning how to basically let go, guys. You're learning how to let go of your limiting restrictions. You're kind of like imposing yourself within all of these limiting beliefs. And a lot of you guys are basically sort of in terms of your romance, one of the things that you guys are navigating through, and I didn't mention it in terms of the conscious mind because I wanted to look at the overall scope for everyone, but for some of you guys, you're navigating through third-party relationships within your romantic relationships, right? And the second week is where you're really going to start to feel that. The second week is where you're really going to start to feel like it's really causing restrictions to the relationship and how you kind of want to be able to grow in the relationship. And again, I can understand that paranoia card, you know, in terms of the outcome of like the month of July for you guys. What I'm basically seeing with this is that you're kind of learning how to let go of a lot of your own personal restrictions, a lot of your own personal viewpoints that tends to blind you to the positivity that is actually taking place. And with these third party situations, what I'm actually sort of seeing is that you are at a place, right, where it may be another romantic relationship that is, okay, so your partner may be engaging in another relationship outside of your relationship. For some of you guys, it may be a karmic relationship that they're engaging in. And for others of you guys, you may be dealing with family or friends or colleagues basically giving their 2 pence worth to your relationship that isn't necessarily, or at least what you feel like isn't necessarily helping the relationship, but at least it's helping your partner to be able to communicate and express themselves, right? So technically that can only help your relationship in the long term. So it's probably just a case of you being able to shift your perspective in terms of the dynamics of what's taking place. But I see that the second week of July is probably going to be one of your trickier weeks this month. Okay, what is the third week of July looking like for my Taurus babies, Spirit? As clearly as you can, please. What is the third week of July looking like for my Taurus babies? Okay, I don't know if you guys saw that card flying, but okay, you guys are dealing with the Hermit. Beautiful. So you guys are dealing with internal introspection in the third week. You guys are back to that place where you're doing a lot of deep soul searching. You're going through a lot of inner guidance. You're kind of taking some time to do some introspection and taking some time to yourself to be able to balance your work and personal life, because there seems to have been an imbalance that has allowed for you to kind of remove yourself or withdraw yourself from maybe the relationship that is not necessarily meeting your expectations, so that you can focus a little bit more on yourself, because work may be taking up a lot of your times and you don't necessarily have the emotional capacity to give into the relationship, especially where it feels like for some of you guys dealing with third party situations that are karmic, it's just too much for you to sort of like deal with right now. So you're just kind of taking the time to do some soul searching in the third week, which is a nice place to be. I think that it's important for you to dive deeper into these limiting restrictions, into these self-imposed restrictions that you're navigating through. So it's not a bad thing. I think that the soul searching will actually help you to be able to sort of see where you're sort of looking at the situation unrealistically, where you're being in a place of wishful thinking, you know, and where you can actually become a little bit more, how can I put it? Where you can actually find yourself becoming a little bit more open, because you're still on edge. You're literally just on edge, and it's because you're on edge, that's why you're going into yourself. It's because you're on edge, that's why you're kind of doing your introspection and soul searching in the third week. And it's interesting because if you have a look at the card, I don't know if you can actually see the card, but in the Hermit's reality, he is literally on the edge. Okay, and sometimes it takes for us to get to the edge of our experiences to be able to dive deep within ourselves, to be able to activate the light within ourselves to see the darker parts of ourselves, to see the darker parts of our reality and observe them and learn how to understand them a little bit better. Okay, what does the 4th week of July look like for my Taurus babies for this month, Spirit? Okay, so the 4th week of July is looking, again, you're still navigating through that soul searching. So I can understand what's going on in the 3rd week because we have the Cancer new moon in on the 20th of July. So I think that the Cancer new moon is really going to be taking you on a deep journey of soul searching, guys. It seems as though it's still taking you into the energies of the, like, that energy is still taking you into the 4th week of July, where you're kind of learning again just how to stabilize and balance your work and personal life, because there's been an imbalance in it, and you felt very burdened by your romantic relationship. You felt very burdened by your business partnerships and your work situations. And it seems like now in the 4th week of July, you're actually starting to get a little bit more comfortable with the burdens of life. You're starting to get a little bit more comfortable with just all of these things that you're navigating through. You're learning how to get a little bit more comfortable with balancing your romantic relationship as well as your business partnerships and work-based situations, guys. And I can see that you're kind of observing it and looking at it and saying, do you know what, I'm actually capable of a lot more than I thought that I was. I've been carrying a lot of burden, and I didn't realize that I was carrying this burden and looking at it like I couldn't do it, but I was doing it all along. And you're actually starting to see your power basically by the 4th week. There's, again, we've got 8 of Wands energy, so there's an instant change that takes place in the 4th week, where the journey that you go through on the 3rd week of soul searching is really going to be able to help you to see what resources you have and how to be able to effectively utilize your resources, and how to be able to help your romantic partnership as well as navigate through what you're going through in terms of your work or business transitions that are taking place at the minute, because obviously we know that there's a lot going on there, right? So we're going to close out the space for us, guys, with a romance guidance for my single for my Taurus babies that are living in Singleville, for my Taurus babies that are in relationship-cation, and those of you guys that are basically in situationships. I know it's complicated, I don't judge, so I'm going to try my best to, you know, seek some guidance for you guys as well. Okay, what I do want to say for you guys is that the 3rd week is really going to be like a major arcana for you guys, so that's probably going to be your more I wouldn't say challenging week, but this is going to be your week where you go deeper within yourself, so just bear that in mind. What is the advice for the month of July for my single Taurus babies, Spirit? What is the advice for them? Chemistry, guys. So the advice for you guys is chemistry. It's safe for you to love. I don't think that there's somebody that is going to come into the space for you guys in the month of July if you don't necessarily have anybody that you're sort of already engaging with. If you do have somebody that you're engaging with, there is a natural chemistry. You're going to be drawn to the person that you need to be drawn to right now, so that you can go deeper within yourself, to let go of some of your self-imposed restrictions. And it seems like it's a strong connection. Spirit's saying that it is safe for you to love. It is safe for you to kind of like open yourself up to the situation. At the same time, try not to be too codependent, because there may be masks that people are wearing in the situation. People may be masking their inner child wounds. People may be masking their inner child shadows that they haven't necessarily outgrown just yet. So as you navigate through this chemistry that you're naturally drawn to, just know that it's going to help you to go deeper within yourself, and it is safe for you to open yourself up to love. I understand you being cautious, but Spirit's saying that it's safe, okay? And nothing can really hurt you. It's only helping you to grow, okay? What is the advice, Spirit, for my Taurus babies that are in relationships? Okay, so for those of you guys that are in relationships, you're dealing with a soulmate partnership, okay? You're dealing with a soulmate partnership that is teaching you how to love yourself, and you just need to trust the process. There's a new love that is taking place in the dynamics of your relationship, but first you guys are learning how to free yourself. First you guys are learning how to love yourself openly and freely. For some of you guys, as you navigate through the month of July, you may be embarking on separation. which is interesting. You may be embarking on separation, probably due to the karmic relationship that I'm sort of seeing is taking place with you guys. And that karmic relationship just kind of needs to play itself out, because though your partner is going off and doing what they need to do, or you may be the one going off and doing what you need to do for yourself, it's actually allowing for both of you guys to go deeper within yourself to be able to observe the masks that you guys are wearing in the relationship. So just let it happen naturally, just let it happen organically, and try not to fight the process, guys. Okay, what is the overall guidance for my Taurus babies that are in situationships for the month of July, Spirit? What would you advise to them that are going through their complicated situations? Trust, guys. The advice for you is to trust the relationship and give the relationship a chance. So for those of you guys, Spirit is saying that the relationship is calling for you to have faith at this time. You just kind of need to be playful with it. There is going to be a reconciliation that's going to take place this month. And it's also going to be separation that's going to take place this month as well. Mostly the reconciliation is going to be taking place because this is like a spiritual evolution that's taking place for you guys. So for some of you guys that may be dealing with a complicated situationships, right? You may be dealing with a third party situation. Well, you probably are dealing with a third party situation as well. And Spirit's saying that you guys keep drawing back to each other because there's still a lot of spiritual work for you guys to do. And you just kind of need to give the relationship a chance and express your love. But first you have to love yourself. And identify how you love yourself, because that's how you're loving the other person, with caution, with restrictions, with self-imposed limitations on how they need to show up or how they need to sort of come at you in order for you to be able to receive them. But Spirit's saying that true love is worth waiting for, and that's what you're kind of navigating through in the month of July. The advice for you guys is to let your friends help you to be able to continue to trust the path that you're on. Okay, I hope that was useful for you guys. If you guys, have connected with the information, if it resonated with you, definitely be sure to comment down below. If you're watching this via my YouTube channel, give me a thumbs up and let me know if you like the content. Give me a heart, guys, for those of you guys that are watching this via my IG, so that I know that you're appreciating the content. And if you're watching via my YouTube channel, I love to have you as a part of the tribe. So if you like my vibe, subscribe, guys. It's as simple as that. And be sure to hit the notification bell. That way you can be kept in the know of when I do upload these awesome videos for you guys. And you can actually thank one of my YouTube subscribers, because he asked me to, if I do readings for Leos, and I guess he kind of needed the guidance, and it just allowed for me to come back into the space. So I thank him for giving me the opportunity to gift you guys with this experience, because it seems like we're all navigating through a lot this month. But I'm gonna love you guys and leave it there for you guys before I go off on a tangent. I'm sending you guys nothing but love, light, and positive intentions for the journey ahead, as per usual. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Namaste. God bless, guys. Mwah.
That's all, folks. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for more.